We often don't realize that we are the key to our own happiness, and that happiness starts with healing and transformation. Whether you need healing, guidance, clarity, understanding, or just some honest sister talk to feel connected, heard, and supported, you are welcome and safe here. So join the conversation and be healed. Welcome to Soul Healing Conversations with your host, Roz Kincaid.
Hey everybody, and welcome to another episode of Soul Healing Conversations. I'm Roz Kincaid. I'm an intuitive soul healer, and I help women of color step into the power and live a life of peacefulness with ease and with balance, and without feeling like you need to hide or apologize for who you really are. So y'all, doesn't look like it right now, but spring is here. It's April, it's Aries season, and y'all, it is my birthday month. Yes, y'all, your girl's birthday month is here, and I am open and available to receive. You have not because you ask not. So listen, if you're feeling led to give a testimonial, share some kind words about me or my work, maybe you want to send a small gift, donate to support my work, which pretty much goes right back into supporting you, or you want to leave a comment or a review of my podcast, then click the birthday link in the show description. I appreciate each and every person that I connect with through my work, and being able to hold space for people to safely work through their stuff is both a blessing and a privilege. Listen, not everybody is called or even built to do this kind of work that I and so many other people do. It really does take a village, and I'm so glad to be a part of this community where we are raising the consciousness and putting more love and more good out in the world. And I sincerely love what I do, and I don't take it lightly. And I just want to see everybody that is meant for me, meant to work with me, to do well and to be well. So I love what I do, and I just want to celebrate that. So I've been working with a client in my private one-on-one coaching program, and in one of her sessions, she uncovered that she is allowing her past to influence and inform who she is in her everyday life, and how doing that is holding her back and keeping her stuck. And the insight and the wisdom from that session with her inspired me to do this episode today, because I know that there are other people out there struggling with this same thing. I even have to work on it myself and not pull my past into the present and then let it influence and impact what I'm experiencing today. Before I dive into that, I want to share with you a little bit about the program that I just mentioned, as well as a couple of other resources to help you along the way. So, Empowering Private Coaching is my 6-month one-on-one program. You get 60-minute coaching sessions. You get 18 of those. I'm also giving you personalized and prescriptive mindset and belief work and self-discovery practice. You also get voice and text messaging support between your sessions through Voxer. You also get a couple of bonuses in there. I am a Reiki master, and I am offering Reiki in this program. And you also get an intuitive reading from me at the end of the program. There are so many great things that have been happening in this program. People are breaking free from conditioning from the past. They are healing perfectionism, healing codependency, coming up with ways to create new career paths for themselves, creating more space and restfulness for themselves. And there's just a lot of really good things where people are choosing themselves as opposed to putting a multitude of other people in front of them. So check it out. If you consider yourself a strong woman of color, or just a strong woman, and you know that, or you feel like you've been minimizing the most real parts and best parts of yourself, and you want to transform any kind of lack of acceptance, feelings of overwhelm where you've been overgiving and not receiving enough, and struggles to hold boundaries, into feeling free and liberated and peace and calm, and just learning how to be more confident so that you can move beyond some of these pressures that you either put on yourself or somebody else is putting on you, and don't feel like you need to live up to unrealistic standards and truly have power and control over your life. Then this private coaching program was created just for you. And again, there are so many great things that are being uncovered and healed and transformed in there. And it all starts with the clarity call, just to see if coaching with me would be the right move for you, and to also see if you and I are compatible for a coaching relationship, because everybody isn't for everybody. And that is okay. And the only way that you're going to know that you're compatible with a certain coach is to have a conversation. And that is exactly what is happening in this clarity and alignment call. I am also offering one off power hour coaching sessions at a special price for you too, since it's my birthday month. In addition to that, everybody can get intuitive readings this month, because I am running a birthday special on intuitive readings between now and the end of April. With the intuitive readings, there is no time limit on when your reading occurs, but you do have to book your reading this month to get my special birthday rate. And that also goes for the power hour. As long as you book it this month in April, you can use it anytime. As long as you get it in now, you can use it down the road. You can book it for another time, but you have to book it now. The other thing is the Soul Expansion Soundboard. My former co-host, Julian Crossan Hill, and I just wrapped our last Soul Expansion Soundboard live stream a couple of weeks ago. If you're interested in checking out some of those replays, I invite you to head on over to my YouTube page or my Facebook page to see those replays. And you can find both of those pages at Soul Healing with Roz. Everything you need is in the description box, so make sure you check all that out. Okay, back to what I was saying about my client and this whole business of living in the past. Okay, this is happening more often than you think it is. And so when I say living in the past, what I mean is dwelling on past experiences and events, often to the point where it is interfering with your present life. You might find yourself constantly thinking about what happened, replaying negative thoughts, thinking about the past mistakes repeatedly, or just what I do sometimes is running scenarios in your mind of what you could have done or what you should have done, or replaying how you would have responded differently. Like, this kind of stuff is the stuff that keeps you from experiencing joy and peace in your life. And it keeps you from moving forward in your life. And it impacts relationships that you have in your life as well. So as my client and I are working in session, I start to notice that she keeps going back to past situations that were painful and have really been keeping her in this nice, comfortable comfort zone where she feels protected and safe. But there's also something else that's happening where she wants to move forward and wasn't moving forward and growing in the way that she wants to. She found herself not being able to get rid of some shame around the choices that she's made and some of the resentment towards the people around her. And she was just stuck because of how she was letting her past affect her present. So I started noticing a little bit of a pattern of how living in the past can stop your growth right in its tracks and keep you from making any kind of positive change. And so here are the three things that I noticed. First thing, there is a struggle to adapt to new people and new situations when you are living in the past. When you hold on to what has happened in the past and keep reliving those experiences in your memory, you're rehearsing that experience. And after a while, your mind is going to latch onto that and use that to compare every situation that you encounter in the present or the future to the past. Now, what that does is cause you to shy away or avoid new situations because you think you're going to be hurt again, just like last time, right? The next thing that I notice is that when we dwell on the past, it starts to stir up these negative emotions and anchors in those limiting beliefs that are already kind of circling in your mind and in your belief system. So, once again, all of this is coloring how you view yourself and the world around you. It's almost like not putting rose colored glasses on, but it's skewing and making everything distorted in your present life and informing your choices based on past experiences that don't really have anything to do with what's going on right now. So when this happens, what you're doing is you're reinforcing those limiting beliefs and manifesting evidence to prove that what you believe is correct when it really is not. And it's not even serving your highest good or helping you to evolve. And that is what makes it difficult to grow, because then you get stuck in depression and anxiety and start having panic attacks and all of that stuff that ends up doing a number on your mental health as well as your physical wellness. There's a quote by Lao Tzu, who is a Chinese philosopher, that if you're depressed, you're living in the past. If you're anxious, you're living in the future. Taking that into consideration, think about, where are you living your life right now? Are you still living in the past, thinking about what happened and shoulda, coulda, woulda? Or are you living in the future trying to prevent the past from happening again, doing all this stuff and just missing out completely on what's going on in your present moment right now? The third thing that I notice is that living in the past will cause you to lack self-awareness. See, some of us have been letting our past shape our present and our future so much that we've been living on autopilot, so to speak, and unaware of our habits and patterns and ways of thinking and ways that we react. Like, it's almost as if our minds and our bodies don't know the difference between the here and now and the past, leaving us to live life pretty much in survival mode, reacting to everything as if the past is happening all over again. There's no benefit in that for you, which is part of the reason why you might be feeling this contrast between the things that you desire and the past repeating itself, or the fear of the past repeating itself. It's all an illusion, really. It's all an illusion. The past has happened. You can't do anything about it. The future hasn't even happened yet. So you're creating it right now in the present moment. The present is the only place where you have the most power. The fourth thing that I noticed is how being stuck in the past, you're not giving yourself a chance to heal and move on with life. And this kind of stuff breeds codependency and perfectionism as a way for us to control the environment and protect ourselves, control the narrative, control how people treat us, control everything around us so we don't have to feel hurt and pain all over again. And I will say that even if you do feel hurt and pain again, there's something to be learned from all of that. But avoiding it isn't helping your cause either. See, if we are reminded of our past, we stay with that memory. We're reminded of the hurt we felt, and we do everything in our power not to feel that again, assuming that every situation in life is going to yield the same results, and that's just not the case. I'm sure you have plenty of evidence where that is not the case. And so one way to break that up is to make small promises or establish small boundaries with yourself that support your independence, where you can communicate what's going on with you and communicate what you need from other people to be able to support your boundaries and, create more, not safety, but independence for yourself and advocacy for yourself. In order to stop ourselves from letting the past negatively impact our present experience, where we have the most power, remember, we first need to become present and mindful of how we're behaving, how we're thinking, and the internal conversations that we're having about ourselves, about life, about other people. We got to start paying attention to what we're thinking and how we are internally responding to that, because a thought triggers an emotion. A thought informs an emotion. We have the power of choice in all of that, y'all. So I understand, listen, it's going to take effort and time with yourself and contemplation and reflection to start to notice what's going on with you and how you could be holding yourself back by clinging on to the past. And the other thing that you can do is start to look for areas in your life where you're trying to preserve the old you. So there's a version of you that wants to keep you safe, keep you in your little comfort zone. And then there's a version of you that wants more, wants greater, wants to experience better, and wants to be better. And so as part of your work to become aware, you got to start paying attention to how you could be holding on to an outdated, non-beneficial version of yourself that you might need to let go in order to be able to step into a higher version of yourself, in order to be able to act and be like a higher version of yourself. Because remember, you can't take the old with you to the level where the new you is. There's no room, there's no space, there's no benefit in it. And there is going to be a stark misalignment when you try to carry old parts of you that need to die with you into this new level. So I did a quick YouTube video on this, on self-preservation, that you might want to check out if you want some more support and information around that. So check that out. So now what I want to do is I want to put a nice little bow on all of this and give you a list of about 10 things you can do to help yourself stop living in the past and dwelling on what's already happened, so it's not negatively impacting your life today. Like, we need to move on. There's a reason why you are frustrated and disgusted. And it's because you might be holding on to past situations and yoking your own neck and allowing yourself to be held back by your past. Okay, so number one, examine your past. Get some clarity on why you're still attached to it in the first place. The second thing is take some responsibility. Now, I'm not talking about blaming, but I'm talking about taking responsibility and accountability for your part in it. You got to ask yourself, how did I contribute, or what did I allow that I didn't need to allow that caused more hurt than necessary out of this situation? Where did you not speak up for yourself, and why? Number three, acknowledge your feelings and your emotions about the past. Like, stop stuffing your emotions or eating them away and deal with them instead of trying to avoid them. They're not going anywhere. They're just going to grow if you don't pay attention to them. Number four, process those emotions. Talk it out, journal it out, express them through creativity. I know some people like to art journal their emotions and conceptualize their feelings through art and images. Number five, look for the lesson or the wisdom in the past situation. There's a reason that you went through that. There's wisdom. There are messages in how you feel about it and how it hurt you that can inform you on how to make better decisions for yourself down the road. Number six, acknowledge anything good that came out of the situation, even if it's the fact that you're no longer in the situation. There's good somewhere in there. Number seven, y'all, you're going to have to stop playing the victim. It takes your power away. Take responsibility for your life and your choices. It also means taking control of your future. So if you messed up, you fucked up, made a mistake, own it. Own it. I messed up. I made a mistake. And then learn from it and keep it moving. You don't have to live there in those mistakes. Number eight, apologize and make amends if you've done something to cause harm. Even if it's to yourself. Start with yourself first. Let yourself off the hook first. Number nine, don't let your past define your values and who you are. You get to choose how you want to be defined. You get to choose who you want to be in this moment. And just because you were an addict in the past, or made mistakes in the past, or ran these streets hot, whoring around, it doesn't mean that that defines who you are today. Let what happened die so that you can live whole and well today. And finally, number 10, focus on the here and now and what's within your control. It'll save you a lot of headache and heartache when you do that. Focus on what's going on right now. So start with those and see how it goes for you. And listen, if you need help getting yourself unstuck from the past, reach out to me. Reach out to me for support through coaching. That's what coaching is about. Being able to support you and help you get unstuck from anything that has you bound and locked in. Part of the coaching framework is about becoming aware of how the past is affecting your present. That's a large part of the coaching framework. All right, y'all, that's it. That's all I have for you today. Living in the past is not helping you, and it damn sure ain't protecting you. And so holding on to this shit is really doing more harm than good. And I'm sure if you sat with yourself and looked over your life and took inventory of how it is and the quality of your life, I am pretty sure that you will find that that statement is true. So listen, if you enjoyed this episode, you found it helpful, and you like this kind of content from me and you want more of it, then make sure to check out the links in the show description for more of what I have to offer you. I have an email list, I have podcasts, I do blogs. There's a lot of things, a lot of resources out there to support you. And you can always reach out to me for a session or for a call if you need to. So make sure to like, subscribe, and share this episode with somebody that needs a little bit of reality check to help them leave their past where it belongs, over there in the past. I'll talk to y'all next time. Bye. Hey, and thanks so much for hanging in there with me all the way to the end of the podcast. I hope you got lots of value from today's episode and feel more empowered and more inspired than you did before. If you enjoyed this episode as much as I did doing it, then share it with somebody that might resonate with it. Also, I would really appreciate it if you could leave me a 5-star review to help me get the word out about the show. And if at any point you have questions or topics you want me to riff about, as you can see, I like to talk, then I invite you to get on my social media platforms and just message me. And if you're feeling the nudge to work with me, then check out my offerings on my website. Everything you need to connect with me is in the show notes. So until next time, be empowered.